We use the most powerful AI models to create a debate between two characters, Bruce Wayne, aka Batman, and the Joker. The debate between these two characters begins now. Is humanity, at its core, inherently good and governed by rules, or are we just one bad day away from madness?
Why the long face, Bats? You're still asking if people are inherently good? Oh, that's the best punchline I've ever heard. Rules? Society? It's all a stage trick. They're just animals in cheap suits whispering laws in the dark because they're afraid. Humanity isn't governed. It's contained. Your rules are duct tape on a bursting pipe. I am the pressure. I show them what their smiles are stapled over. And when the staples pop, they don't become me. They become themselves. You want proof? Look at Harvey, your shiny white knight. One bad day, and your lawman was flipping coins for lives. He didn't fall. He landed on the truth. And you're my star exhibit. One bad day in an alley, a little drama, and wham! A grown man playing dress-up, convinced that punching the mentally ill is a moral crusade. We're all one bad day from the madhouse. I just happen to have a better sense of humor about it. I don't hide my madness behind a moral code or a billionaire's guilt. I embrace it, because rules, they're as brittle as sanity. Not. Who's there? Reality. Reality who? Reality who doesn't care about your rules but laughs at how hard you try to pretend it does.
You call people animals and laws duct tape. That's projection. You take a sledgehammer to a clock and declare time a lie. All you've proven is that you like breaking things. You rig the test, isolate, drug, terrorize, and then point at the wreckage like it's human nature. A biased sample with a rigged outcome. I won't kill you, not because you don't deserve it, because the moment I do, I make your case for you. That line, it's load-bearing. It keeps the roof up when the storm hits. One bad day, I've watched men climb back. I've held the rope. Harvey didn't land on truth. You pushed him, burned him, broke him, and still, Harvey has fought back before. Jim Gordon chose the law after you tried to shatter his family. Barbara Gordon became Oracle and turned pain into hope. Jason Todd, angry, imperfect, still drags strangers out of the fire. Bad days open doors. Choice decides which way they swing. And every night, I meet people who prove you wrong in 100 small, stubborn ways. The shop owner who bars his door to shield kids he doesn't know. The nurse who stays for a double shift when the sirens spike. The ex-con who mentors so the next kid never meets me on a rooftop. You say my mask hides madness. This isn't a costume, it's a symbol. My parents' death wasn't a little drama, it was a crime. My response wasn't to succumb to madness, but to promise. No more children in alleys. I watched my parents bleed out on cold pavement. That night didn't make me like you. It made me choose. I could have become Joe Chill. I didn't. Here's the difference. You worship the fracture. I set the bone. Gotham doesn't laugh with you, Joker. It survives you.
You don't kill me because you're terrified to find out what happens when your cathedral's keystone goes missing. Your rule only looks noble because I'm alive to test it nightly. You want to talk about your proof? Jim Gordon clung to the law like a life preserver because the ocean was screaming. That's not goodness. That's an anchor on a drowning man. Barbara, every bite she spins hums the note I gave her. Pain as an operating system. Jason? Recovery is just relapse with choreography. The shop owner bars his door? Sure, until the riots hit. The nurse on a double shift? One unpaid bill, and she's selling pills. Those little people you love so much? The shopkeeper? The nurse? They're only good because your shadow is long enough to cover them. Turn out the lights, Bats. Let the power fail. Let the food run out. Then we'll see their inherent goodness. You chose to spend your fortune on toys instead of actually fixing Gotham. How many schools could you build with the price of one Batmobile? How many treatment centers with your cave full of computers? But no, that wouldn't scratch the itch, would it? You don't want to fix Gotham. You need it broken. Without us, you're just a sad little boy playing in a cave. We both know why you won't push me off the edge. You lose the mirror that makes your vow look like virtue instead of vanity.
You mistake discipline for fear. My rule isn't a keystone I'm scared to remove. It's the foundation I chose to build on. It's not about you. It's about who I refuse to become. Do I need you? No. I prepare for you. I mentor replacements because the point is a city that outlasts the mask. A good night is when I'm not needed. You insist I become you with one bad day. I've had more than one. Jason in the warehouse, Barbara on the floor, my back broken. Every time the line held, not because I was unhurt, because I decided hurt wouldn't choose for me. Pain can explain you. It doesn't excuse you. You mock my toys. You ask why I don't build schools instead. You're blind. I do both. While I'm in the alley, the Wayne Foundation funds the clinics, re-entry programs, and schools you try to burn. That Batmobile stops bombs, tracks toxins, shuts labs. Charity builds, but charity alone cannot stop a predator in the dark. Justice protects what's built. A school doesn't matter when someone like you walks in with a bomb. You can't build a better world while monsters burn it down. I am the tourniquet and the surgeon. When the lights go out, people don't always turn savage. Sometimes they light candles. Sometimes they share food. Sometimes they carry strangers to safety. I've seen it. You didn't reveal Jim Gordon's true self. You revealed his character. Barbara didn't tune to your frequency. She built networks that route around fear. You revealed the terrain. They decided the route. You insist we're the same. We're not.
Discipline? That's just what the smartest animal in the zoo tells himself about the bars. I chose this cage. The Wayne Foundation builds a school. I make it a pop quiz. You fund clinics. I test the antidotes. You call yourself a tourniquet and surgeon. Darling, you don't cure. You recur. You stabilize the body so it can come back for another appointment with me. Lights on, you say? Hope is moth behavior around a lamp. Those candles in the dark, they don't bloom in spite of me. They bloom for me. Without the dark, a candle is just wax with a string. We're two sides of the same bad day coin. Every school you build, every bone you set, I thank you. The higher they stack, the louder they crash. You don't cross the line because you're terrified of what's on the other side. Terrified you'll like it. Terrified you'll realize how easy it would be to just pull the trigger. But here's the real joke. I don't need to win this argument. Time does it for me. Every year, more villains. Every year, more crime. Gotham gets worse despite your best efforts. You're not healing the city, Batman. You're just slowing the inevitable. Putting a Band-Aid on a bullet wound and calling yourself a surgeon. You could have run for office. Reformed the system from inside. Use your money to create real, lasting change. But no, you chose the cowl, the performance, the control, the power, the fear in their eyes. You're not healing bats. You're the wound. Gotham bleeds because of you. Every villain you face is a reaction to you. Bane broke your back because you existed, and me? I wouldn't have had half as much fun anywhere else. The moment Gotham is actually safe. Who are you? You looked into the abyss and blinked. That's not discipline. That's failure of imagination. The joke isn't that I'm crazy. It's that I make sense.
My line isn't bars I hide behind. It's a boundary I carry so people can walk out. You accuse me of repression, of being terrified of what's on the other side. You are wrong. I am not afraid of the darkness. I've stared into it every night since I was 8. I know exactly what is on the other side, and I choose daily to reject it. That is not repression. It is will. It is direction of force, grief, and power toward outcomes that don't leave a body on the floor. You say charity recurs, so it's a joke. Of course it recurs. That's what care looks like. Triage tonight, treatment tomorrow, prevention the day after. You love finales. I count continuities. Kids who never meet you in an alley. First-time offenders who don't return because a job appeared. Your candle routine? Wrong sequence. Gotham didn't wait for you to learn to share light. Neighbors carried each other through blackouts long before your punchlines. You say we are two sides of the same coin. That is your most profound error. A coin has two faces, but only one value. You represent chaos for its own sake. I represent order for the sake of others. You break people and call it truth. I rebuild them and call it justice. We are not the same. You say I don't cross the line because I'm scared I'll like it. No, I don't cross the line because it's wrong and because it doesn't work. Kill you, and I validate your thesis. I mint a martyr. I corrupt the one constraint that keeps this city from becoming what we hunt. And that line you're so obsessed with, I don't cross it because it's easy, because it's your answer, the lazy answer, the surrender. You say Gotham gets worse. Look at the data. Crime rates in sectors with Wayne social programs dropped 18% in 3 years. Anonymous PACs flipped the DA's race, passed re-entry bills. Policy by day, leverage by night. The cowl is precision where politics falters. I toppled Black Mask's syndicate in 48 hours, what bureaucracy takes years. Every villain is a reaction to me. Carmine Falcone ran this city before I put on the cowl. The Court of Owls existed for a century before I was born. Gotham had monsters long before Batman. I didn't create them. I stopped them from winning. Back to Arkham, alive, again.
18% drop. Whew! Fabulous. At that rate, you'll have Gotham reformed in 40 years? 50? And kids who never meet me. Those kids aren't your victory. They're just lucky. They happen to be born in the right zip code, happen to get the Wayne Scholarship. But what about the ones who don't get lucky? Whose neighborhood is 3 blocks outside your 18% reduction zone? They still meet someone in an alley. They just meet me instead of you. And you know the difference? When they meet you, you judge them. When they meet me, I understand them. Policy by day, leverage by night. So you admit it. You can't fix Gotham through legal means. You're just one big hypocrite with 2 wardrobes. And this beautiful line. I toppled Black Mask in 48 hours. Yeah, by breaking bones. And you know what happened? Someone else took his place. You're not addressing the demand, just the supply. Let's talk about why you won't kill me. It validates my thesis? Sweetheart, you already validate my thesis. Every night you're out there breaking bones and terrorizing people proves my point. You just draw the line at the last breath instead of taking it. But Bruce, what are you hunting? People who broke. People who snapped. People who had their bad day and didn't make your choice. And here's the funny part. You hunt us with their money. The same Gotham elite who created the conditions that made us. You talk about Jason like he's proof of choice. He was a street kid stealing tires off the Batmobile. And what did you do? Did you get him therapy? Send him to boarding school? No. You put a traumatized child in a costume and threw him at criminals. You weaponized him and called it mentorship. And when I killed him, and yes, I killed him, you just adopted another one, and another, and another. How many child soldiers do you need before you admit you're not saving them, you're using them? About not crossing the line because it doesn't work. But how do you know? You've never tried it. You just assume that killing me would make things worse. Maybe it would. Or maybe Gotham would throw a parade. Maybe crime would drop. Maybe people would feel safe for the first time in years knowing the Joker is dead. But you'll never know, because you're too scared to find out. You're not the hero, you're the symptom. And me? I'm the fever dream that reminds everyone they're sick.
You call my line a tripwire. It's a firewall, the operational code that separates justice from vengeance. You think my refusal to kill is born of fear. It is born of certainty. Certainty that once I cross that line, there is no return. You call me a hypocrite. You lack the nuance to see the strategy. Batman removes the immediate threat, the supply. Bruce Wayne eliminates the demand, the poverty, desperation, systemic rot. One cannot succeed without the other. You mock the 18% drop. You call those kids lucky. They're not lucky. They're supported. That 18% represents lives. Kids who didn't meet you in an alley. Mothers who came home because a gunman decided to run instead of pulling the trigger. You call it slow. I call it foundation. You say I judge while you understand. A profound lie. I understand why they break. The poverty, the trauma, the systemic failures. That's why I spend billions addressing root causes. You don't understand their pain. You exploit it. You are a parasite. I offer a path back. You offer a dead end. You will not use Jason's memory. He wasn't a child soldier. He was a boy in pain, driven by his own need for justice. You prey on the weak. I empower the willing. My failure wasn't training him. My failure was not protecting him from you. You think I'm scared to kill you, that Gotham would throw a parade. Maybe, but it's not an assumption. It's a diagnosis. Your death wouldn't end the chaos. It would mythologize it. It would create a dozen copycats seeking to claim your crown. Kill you, and I teach Gotham that hope is transactional, that safety requires blood. Once the city believes that, it stops building, it starts hunting, it becomes you. You're not the fever, you're the infection. I'm the immune response, and the immune response endures.
You've got a label for every box you shove your sanity into. Operational code, dual strategy. You're not a strategy, you're schizophrenia with a trust fund. Bruce Wayne builds a playground, while Batman breaks the bones of kids who vandalize it. That 18%? You haven't saved them from me, you've saved them for me. You keep them fresh and hopeful. So when I finally get to them, the fall is more delicious. But my favorite part, you will not use Jason's memory. But I own his memory. I forged it in fire and the crowbar. He was driven by a need for you, and you weren't there. I was. I showed him what a real joke looks like. You think killing me would create copycats? Bruce, there are already copycats. Joker gangs, Joker cults, people who paint their faces because they want to be noticed by you, the way I am. No, you don't kill me because deep down you know I'm right. You're scared that without me, you're just a rich boy in a cave. You need the infection. Without it, your immune response has nothing to do.
You think you own Jason's memory. You own nothing but the guilt of his murder. You called Jason your masterpiece. You're wrong. Jason is your failure. You tried to make him into a monster, and Jason fought his way back. That isn't a punchline. That is a victory. You say you reveal pain. You inflict it. You're a torturer, who mistake screams for applause. I save them from you. Every child who grows up without knowing your name is a victory you can never claim. You feed on pain. I starve you of it. Your copycats are your legacy, the infection you spread. If I kill you, I make you a martyr. I prove chaos wins. I become the ultimate copycat. But by bringing you in, by adhering to the law, I prove the system can be better, that order is stronger than you. And you're right, I'm scared, but not in the way you think. I'm scared that if I give in for just one moment, Gotham will become a reflection of everything you've shown it.
My refusal to kill isn't weakness. It's the source of my strength. It's the reason a child can look at the signal and feel hope, not terror. You're not the disease, Joker. You're the symptom that refuses to heal. You mutate because you're afraid to stop, afraid that if you sat still long enough to look at what you've become, you'd see how empty your freedom really is. This debate is over. Your words are as hollow as your laughter. The city endures. The mission continues. This isn't a negotiation. It's a promise. GCPD will be here in 3 minutes. Arkham's prepare to sell.
That brings us to the end of this debate. If you found this video helpful, please consider supporting the channel by subscribing to empower you for more thought-provoking content.